Okay, the Neices are 14 weeks old, and it's been about a week or so since I have let them out. The reason is I let them out last week. I think it was like Monday or Tuesday, and I was sitting over there about where the chicken tractor was, and all of a sudden I heard this big kerfuffle on the other side. And come to find out, there was a hawk, a big red-tailed hawk, that had swooped down and was trying to grab them. Needless to say, I was able to get the hawk out of here, and as soon as I was able to intervene, all of the sisters ran into the coop. All the babies ran into the run, with the exception of Pamela, wherever she is. And then Andrea and I got scared, and I have not let them out since. So this is the first time in a week. So I've changed positions so I can potentially see if there's a hawk coming. Typically the hawk before would come from this area here. So I would always look for this area, but when the hawk came, I don't know what direction he came from, but he came from over here. So I don't know if he came from over there or he came from over here. So now I'm gonna be watching a little closer. So now we can see if everything will be okay. Now, in the last week, it's actually started to get a little cold here. And so we put up our panels that we had made last year. So last year we spent several hours making, cutting these corrugated panels, making the little slats for them and all that type of stuff. And we had them up all winter. The reason for that is Andrea wanted to have a wind protection zone. So when it gets cold in the wintertime, then the breeze would not go down into where they were. It would stay up above. And for the most part, it actually worked good last year. And so we had them. All right. That's Hermione getting on top of Samantha right there. Hermione is vying to be head chicken. So we had the panels in the storage area all summer, so we got them out. And so instead of spending a few hours putting them up, we just spent a few minutes putting them in their spots. So I was very happy about that. Then the other thing is since the hawk incident last week, we got the chicken tractor up, and so what I had been doing was about this time of night, it's about 4:30 right now, opening the door to the chicken tractor and letting them come out here for a little bit. And because we did have the Splash Americana out here before he got his new home. And then we also had the Wheaton out there for a few days to let him heal up. And if I can find him, I'll show you him. And hey, Samantha. Yeah. Yeah, when Samantha's not broody, she's kind of chatty. All right, there's the Wheaton right there, which of course he's not showing his back end. Oh, there we go. So, see, the back end is looking better. So his new feathers are actually coming in. So that's good. Blondie right here is doing an pretty extreme molt right now. So she's got pin feathers all over her neck. She's lost all of her tail feathers. She's lost most of her wing feathers. And she actually looks better than she did a couple of days ago. I was telling Andrea that I'm calling her bombed out Blondie because she literally looked like a bomb went off right next to her and a bunch of shrapnel hit her. But as you can tell, she's doing okay. But the youngins at 14 weeks, that is the blue copper Moran. That one's going to be a big chicken. Other than the Wheaton Moran, which is a male, that one is going to be the biggest chicken, probably about 6-7 pounds. The Wheaton Moran is probably going to be about 8 pounds. And we think the sisters are about 4.5 to 5 pounds. Lacey is obviously the smallest. And I think Samantha now is vying to be the biggest chicken weight-wise. It was Eleanor at one point. But I think Samantha's got her a little covered. There's Pamela there she's the only one that decided to stay out when the hawk was out. All the other ones went in, so we literally had to go chase her and bring her back in. Pamela obviously is not molted yet because her feathers look a little worse for wear, but she'll get to it. There's Eleanor, Hermione, and Lacey from right to left. Lacey's our smallest chicken. That was ML that just kind of zoomed over. So then of course there's Rose right there. So anyway, the other thing I wanted to show is, let me show you real quick. All right, with the Splash Americana deciding that it was going to start pecking feathers, that Andrea decided that the chickens were bored and needed something to occupy their time with. So she got on Amazon and got some, quote, chicken toys, which is never a good idea. So she got these little mirror things here, and she got these things here that the chickens can peck on, which I guess can help their beaks or whatever. And then there's 2 on this side. We have 2 treat dispenser things that I haven't put up yet. And then this thing came today, which is basically a glorified wind chime. And the sisters were pretty much more scared of it than anything else, which I don't blame them. So none of this stuff was my idea. This was all Andrea, so I can blame her for it. But that's happened in the last week. Ooh, there's a good shot of the Wheaton. There's the Lavender Americana. The Lavender Americana will probably be the smallest out of all of the youngins. And there's Ern right there. Ern is also doing a pretty decent molt, although her tail feathers are about most of the way back. She started molting 2 or 3 weeks before Blondie did, but Ern was always lower on the rung on the pecking order to begin with. But then when she got into full molt, the sisters were really putting beat downs on her. So she's kind of gravitating more towards the youngins than she is towards the sisters, which is kind of funny. But then in true typical fashion, she realizes she can bully the youngins, so that's what she does. And there's Samantha right there. Samantha actually did her molt while she was broody, because at the tail end of her being broody, when the youngins were only a few weeks old, she had lost all of her tail feathers. And she actually still had 2 tail feathers, so it looked like she had either the peace sign or the V for victory sign. So there's Blondie again. So anyway, it's been 10 minutes. There's been no drama as far as the hawk is concerned. So I will call that a win. I'm not going to get to it because I've done other videos on it, but Andrea and I are in the middle of sowing our garlic. We have about 2,500 cloves and about 1,150 garlic corms that we need to plant. And we've done 3 out of the 6 rows of the cloves, so we're about half done with the cloves as of right now. So we're doing about 450 a day, and so we could do more, but you know, we have work to do, and you know, it breaks your back doing that, so we're not spending a lot of time doing that per day, which is fine with me. There's ML right there. ML definitely needs to do her molt because her tail feathers have been looking really bad for a long time now. So anyway, Neices are 14 weeks. Andrea has most, if not all of them, named. So they're going to have their real name, or I should say they're going to have their official name and they're going to have their real name. So their official name is going to be what Andrea has given them, and then their real name is going to be what they're, or at least what I'm going to call them. And so you got to have good old wholesome names for your chickens, like Ern and ML. Those are wholesome names. So I'm kind of joking, but I'm not, because I think it's kind of funny. So anyway, I think she's gotten at least 3 of them named, and I know I have at least 3 nicknames for them, so that's all good. We're not going to officially unveil the names until they start laying. Then they're officially going to go from nieces to sisters. And in the case of the rooster, I guess when he starts exerting his dominance over the flock, then I guess he'll get into his rooster manhood, or whatever you want to call it. But the blue copper right there, she's going to be a big chicken. So the Morans are definitely dual purpose for as big as they are. So anyway, I'm done rambling now. So 14 weeks, and out of the 7 that we ended up getting, we ended up with 2 males and 5 females, and we were supposed to have 7 females.